Hello, welcome back. It's Adam Asks Jess. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you also for all your comments that we've been having in all the other videos. Don't forget to subscribe, press the bell, give us a thumbs up,
share it,
do all those things.
write some more questions.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And I think actually the message is spreading. We've got more views. Things are sort of on the up in terms of subscribers and views. And yeah, we feel like we're making a difference, and we're hopefully reaching a bigger audience and making genuinely getting some questions answered, which is the point. So Adam looks through every week, looks through all the questions, picks some of them out, asks me, and we'll have a general chat about how we feel about them.
Come to me on email.
Mm-hmm.
Or WhatsApp and stuff as well. So yeah. Okay,
so today I think there's one big question. There might be a few other things that we feed in there as well, but we have the big question.
Yeah, this one came to me, as I said, via WhatsApp actually, by a client who has. Are you worried about house prices falling? Big question.
Yeah, I've heard it a few times.
And then I've got another one that leads from that.
Okay. I think, yeah.
I
kind of feel like we've been doing these videos now for I think is this the 7th one? So yeah, for a couple of months. I've been doing videos for a few years, but it was the idea of getting clients' questions and just anybody on topical stuff. People on YouTube emailing in saying what's your thoughts on this. I feel like we kind of skirted around this a little bit. We talked about it a little bit. The straightforward answer is no, I'm not concerned. In fact, I'd be delighted if prices fell. I mean, absolutely delighted. We're property buyers, and if prices come down, it's like the elevator just came down to collect us before it goes back up again. That's the long and short of it. If prices can come down, I'd be delighted. I just don't think they have done, and I'm not sure that they will. I've got no crystal ball.
You mean where we buy?
Correct.
Because they have.
So that is the thing.
They
that
definitely have in some areas of the country.
100%.
Or in some parts of the market, should I say.
I guess what I need you to do, Adam, is make sure that I answer the question well enough, because I think there are times when I talk about me, and I try not to, but I talk about me, my experience, I talk about us and the kind of properties that we buy for thelandlords.com, kind of buys. It's not just necessarily. We've got a scale that goes from £70,000 houses all the way up to sort of £250,000 houses. But let's not forget, even though for us they're very different. You know, one is more than twice as expensive as the other one. Let's not. They're all very cheap houses in the grand scheme of things. So when I talk, I'm very generally talking about our situation. I think, Adam, you're absolutely right. House prices have already come down. And will continue to come down if you are owner-occupier. I don't know the exact threshold. I guess as you go over £200,000, £300,000, £400,000, that it will get more and more severe. You know, if you are wanting to move your family home from a £500,000 3-bed to an £800,000 4-bed, you might very well have put that move on hold. Yeah. You're worried about interest rate rises. You might be stopped dead in your tracks. You now can't afford that mortgage. You now can't get access to that mortgage.
Yeah, or had your mortgage product pulled and pulled out the sale yourself.
Seeing lots of that. Yeah. Seeing that. So we say in our areas, you know, in the areas, I live in Nottingham. Adam and I live in Nottingham. We buy a few houses in Nottingham, but not so many. And of course, they're a long way away. You know, if we use that 1 to 10, 1 being the Bronx and 10 being Manhattan, we tend to buy in 2, 3s and 4s. And you know, I don't live in a 2, 3 or 4. I live a little bit further up. And but I see the kind of houses around in the village where I live. Yeah, stuff coming back on the market, stuff getting reduced, all those things. So I can see why people will think, what happens if house prices come down, or they're worried about it. They can see it all around, and of course they are. It's just our houses, a 2 or 3 bed family house, in the areas where we buy, a little bit in Nottingham, but not so much. Derby, Nottingham, all around the north, let's say. They're not coming down. I'd be delighted if they did. They're just not, because 2 or 3 bed family house in an area where if they come down to certain price, there's always going to be a landlord investor to pick them up, and we know the value to pay.
We're buying a lot of the time something that's a bit of a wreck. It's not in a chain. we haven't changed what we do and how we buy houses for years, and we continue to carry on doing it the way we do it. We're competing with the same people we always have been, investors. So we're not in the residential market.
No.
So it's a bit different.
I think that there's a danger for us, unfortunately, that ever so slightly more investors might come out of the market. It might be that prices in the cheaper stuff start to go up a little bit. It could also be that, and you've said this before, owner-occupiers downsizing squish the bottom end of the market, and that could be another reason for the rises. Yeah. So I'm really hoping that prices go down, but I'm not sure. If they do, we'll buy more. Elevator comes down, you get on and off you go. What was the other question? Yeah.
So yeah, the other one was, so are you then, okay, let's imagine that prices do come down a little bit. Most people are thinking they're going to. I'm not so convinced, but
on the kind of stuff that landlords should be buying, which is the cheaper end of stuff, 2 and 3
So would you be worried then that you may be overpaid on some of the handful of houses that you bought in the earlier part of this year, 2022, that you might be, say you've got a few in renovation right now, for example, that you're going to refinance in the new year?
No, I'm not. I've got to be really careful because I suppose, you know, the way I buy, I'm a little bit more relaxed maybe, and I'm definitely more relaxed now than I was, 10 years ago. But I had this a lot in 2008, 9 and 10 when I was buying and prices were going down as I was buying. And you can't think like that, you know. You've just got an extra bit off. It's like, well, I bought more. The cheaper end, even if the price went down about, what are you talking about, £2,000, £3,000, £4,000? You know, the opportunity to buy the house in little small steps. You can't wait for 2 years and then buy 4 houses all at once. You've got to, with one pot of money, you've got to buy a house every 6 months. So the opportunity cost is, you can't wait.
Everyone I know who's waited has missed something, missed an opportunity somewhere.
Yeah.
I've seen it a handful of times in the last 6 years or so.
Yeah, there's something else that really is a weird phenomenon, and people who are asking this question might be familiar with it at the other end. So, if house prices are going on a dead flat line, you know, let's imagine. I mean, they don't really ever, do they? But you know, a small slope or a small decrease, but basically flat. You've got 2 numbers that are floating along that line. You've got the value, that the purchase price, the actual the thing that's going to be reported 6 months, 12 months later on land registry figures. But you've also got a revaluation figure, like the number that in our business when we're refinancing property, the number that a surveyor will put down to say the house is worth this. Now, we've always found, and it's almost always been true, that it's easier to get a revaluation than it is to get a sale. You know, the ultimate value on a price is you've got to sell it. How do you know what it's worth? You've got to sell it. And that we don't want to. We want to get a revaluation. So a RIC surveyor has to come around and say the house is worth this. So we're talking about these 2 numbers that, on a very reasonably stable market, they're similar. It's dead easy to work out. If I sold it, I could sell it for 100 grand. The surveyor will give you £100,000 on the revaluation. Dead easy, dead stable. Now, when the house prices start to go up and then come back down, really weird things happen, because the value, the number you can buy it for, might have come down, but the number that the surveyor gives you is still up here. Comparables are always 6 to 12 months behind. So actually, by the time you're coming down, you're actually always in a better state. So I'm not worried at all about the revaluations on houses I bought a couple of months ago, because if prices come down, the comparables actually won't. When I was saying you might be familiar with this thought, there's another thing that happens when you hit the bottom of the market and they start to go back up. The comparables always lag behind, and they have been doing for a while. Yeah. You know, that's actually our biggest challenge in a rising market is. We thought this was going to be worth £100,000 and they're telling me it's worth 80, because it hasn't caught up yet. 6 months later, they're worth 80. Everybody works out what the surveyors work out. Oh yeah, they are, but they're always a little bit cautious. I think that prices have already come down. In a recession, let's say, you can think about your own situation, anecdotal stuff, things that people have said. Those first few weeks and months, and we're through that period now, people tend to overreact. That's a it's not a bad thing. If people talk about market sentiment and confidence and those things, it's a market phenomenon. People, stock traders will know this better than anybody. Overreact, which is a safety mechanism, and that's happened already. If people have cut holidays, put off house moves, there is bad news. That is already baked in the numbers. Now people won't see that, but if I'm pretty sure it'll happen, in the news a year from now, it's house prices are coming down, have come down. There's a number. It's in the Daily Mail on the headline. Well, that didn't happen a year from now. That happened now. Happened today. It's already happened. Yeah. But it's happened in the 3, 4, 5 bed houses in the home counties that have just taken a 50 grand hit or whatever. Not the kind of stuff that we're buying in. So, I suppose. Go on.
You mentioned something about people putting off house sales, maybe that affected things, but let's have some good news. Interest rates of mortgage product interest rates have dropped and continuing to do so, but our renovation costs.
That's a very good point.
Are starting to come down.
Yeah,
they've been at an all-time high, battling away with builders for years.
Literally 2 or 3 years. Yeah,
they're chasing us again.
Yeah, all the houses we buy need some kind of work or renovation. And I think if you're an investor, a landlord investor, you want to be trying to buy houses that you can add some kind of value to. So whether or not you just new carpets and a lick of paint, or the whole shebang and doing everything, then you're going to be spending something on a renovation. And a big chunk of what we spend, and don't forget, it's all cash. You can't mortgage the initial renovation. You can mortgage it back out. Even if it's a wreck, you can mortgage the house, but the cash that you're going to put into the house, for carpets, kitchens, whatever, that's cash. You can't mortgage that bit. So it's a big chunk, and it's cash and capital that we have to tie up for at least until we refinance it. That number is coming down. It's a significant number for the kind of houses that we buy and what we do with houses. So really good news, and lots of contractors are now chasing us asking for work, and that hasn't been the case for literally years.
Yeah.
I can't remember it. It's been a big challenge getting the right people to do the right sets of work. I think, how did we do there, answer-wise? How did I do?
12 minutes.
12 minutes wasn't bad.
Pretty good.
I know it's a tricky one, because I know how I'm feeling about it. I think there's a massive opportunity. I'm really excited about the next couple of years. And I talk and I give an answer like this, and I know sometimes it misses the mark, and it's because of all those preconceptions about that other people understandably carry around with them, about what the market means, what a crash means. Like, why are you happy about this? All this uncertainty. I'm going to start repeating. I need to learn it properly so that I can keep repeating it. It's the get greedy when others are fearful. Be fearful when others are greedy. I think it's the other way around, but yes, I'm not very good at it. So I need to memorise that, because that's a really good, bit of a cliche, but it's also oft repeated. It's a nice mantra. It's what we're all tuned into. Contrarian investing, you'd call it, wouldn't you? Get tuned into it. When the market gets like this, there's massive opportunity, and we're starting to find they're there. We're buying well, aren't we?
Definitely.
We're very happy. Got very good big smiles on our faces, and I know lots of people haven't, which they're going hand in hand, opposites. Right.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed that. Any questions? If you want to keep digging into that subject, or if you got another subject, put it in the comments in the video. Subscribe, please. Thank you very much. We appreciate your support. Share the video. Let's get more people watching, and hopefully that will bring in more informed questions as well. So good.
Nice one.
Cheers, Adam.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Bye now.